Hi everyone, I'm going to be doing a book review of Alyssa Friedland's Last Summer at the Golden Hotel. This book follows two families through three generations that have been working together for quite a while. The two patriarchs, Benny and Amos of the Goldman and Weigland Weingolds. There we go. Goldman and Weingolds. Conveniently, this had a family tree in it. This actually really helped if you were reading the physical book because there were quite a few characters on each side. So it's the two patriarchs and their wives, so Benny and Louise and Amos and Fanny. And then after that, we have the second generation, which is their kids. So it's Amy on Benny and Louise's side and Brian and Peter. And then eventually Greta, Peter's wife, on that side. You also have the grandchildren who eventually also become players. And the reason that I mention everyone is because we do get perspectives of each of the different generations. And because each of the members in the family actually gets a vote. They're complete 50-50 partners in this hotel business, which is up in the Catskills. So we meet these families early on, and then we get kind of their golden age at the hotel in one chapter. And then we find out that Benny, the patriarch on the Goldman side, has passed away a few years ago, and the hotel is in deep disrepair. So basically they have to come together for a summer and decide if they're either going to sell the Golden Hotel or basically keep it and revamp it and put money back into it and continue their business together. So each of the different families, so that's essentially the main premise of the book. Because we get so many different perspectives, we also get a lot of the side stories that are happening with each of the characters. That's to say, there's kind of a lot going on. I would say the pacing overall is a little bit slow kind of at the beginning. It sort of mediums out, but it's a very medium-paced book. I will say I enjoyed it. I read it while I was on vacation. I kind of read it almost entirely on one flight for the most part. I thought it was very easy to get through. It's kind of all based on everyone has secrets together, right? And so it's kind of finding out as we kind of go on in the story, we sort of find out what each of the characters' different secrets are, how they play together with the hotel. There's also things that they definitely have a lot of reminiscing, which I think is super nice, but there's kind of a lot of these side things that are happening, and at some point you're just kind of like, okay, well, what's gonna happen with the hotel? So I actually really liked the resolution of this one with, I thought the beauty of this one was seeing the perspectives of each of the generations and how they sort of recycled themselves in the same kind of way. Eventually they make a decision about the hotel, but despite whether it went good or bad or how you wanted it to go, maybe as a reader, there's a really nice redeeming quality at the end that I don't really want to spoil here. I think this book suffered from, sometimes I find when there's a book with a lot of characters, you don't really get enough development on any of them. They were all somewhat one-dimensional. There were also a lot of I think the most offensive thing was that there were a bunch of these side plots that were resolved in one-liners, kind of. So while none of the characters had a really strong emotional development, you also weren't really satisfied with how their issues were resolved altogether. For example, the biggest thing that took place with one of the characters in particular, Amy, where her husband, we find out early on, is dealing, he's a doctor that's dealing oxy out of his side clinic. So he's kind of running this oxy ring. That kind of doesn't really, the way that they resolve that isn't, it's so easy to miss on a lot of these. There were also some larger things that I would have thought they would have emphasized a little bit more, certain plot points that were really juicy and part of the whole thing about the secrets, because they kept mentioning that there were all these secrets and how secrets run everything, and do we really need to know certain things? But everything at the end ended up kind of being sort of hearsay, and the secrets weren't juicy enough for them to merit talking about them the whole time. There were some really good one-liners, some things that were really cute. Also, if you end up reading this book, definitely check out online. There's a reader's guide and borscht soup. So they say they're from the Borscht Belt in the Catskills, and there's a recipe for borscht soup that I might actually end up making, and we'll see how that goes. But that's something that they talk about a lot in this one. It's actually really cute. It did sort of have some, like, it definitely had like summer camp vibes. This is a super good one for a vacation. I think I took it on vacation, and I think it gave me exactly what I wanted. It was, we read this for my book club, and it kind of had mixed reviews. This one's not deep. If that's what you're looking for, you're not going to get that here. But if you're looking for just a nice, light story where none of the characters are particularly completely dislikable, this is exactly what that's going to give you. I actually think that I would be interested in checking out some of her others. She has 2 other published books as well. I believe they're called The Floating Feldmans, The Intermission, and Love and Miscommunication. So 3 actually other books. So I would be interested in checking out some of her others after this one. Who knows, maybe I'll dislike them. I think I did kind of read this one in a perfect vacuum of like everything sort of worked out, so I did end up liking it. Had it been someone else's pick, I don't know how into it I would have been. No, that's not true. I thought it was a solid 3.5, 4 stars. Like, it wasn't, no, 3 stars. It was a solid 3 stars. It was like a Hallmark movie via book, if you will. Anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'd really like to hear if you liked this one or disliked it. We kind of had very mixed reviews at my book club. Some people really loved it. Some people weren't that into it. I was kind of middle of the road. I didn't think it was either too great. Like, I didn't think it was amazing, but I definitely I enjoyed it for the most part. So solid 3 stars for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.